squad, welcome back to IGHQ. You can call me COMM, and today we have the follow-up on the Season 20 Breakout patch notes, more specifically some of those legend changes, but since we're also at that halfway point of the season, we usually see, map changes, crate, weapon adjustments, bug fixes, and some additional quality of life updates. We do see, and we'll talk about some of those too, so as always, everything is timestamped down below to help you find the facts you're looking for, and all of these come alongside that Shadow Society event, which I hope is treating you all well, and you're having fun with it. Diving on in, and starting with that map rotation, you may have noticed World's Edge is no longer in rotation, but instead Broken Moon, Stormpoint, and Olympus. For Ranked, however, we still have World's Edge, Olympus, and Stormpoint, and for Mixtape, control maps are Barometer, Production Yard, and Thunderdome. Gunrun is Monument, Skulltown, and Thunderdome, and for TDM/Lockdown, it's Monument, Zeus Station, and again Thunderdome. Now, since we're kind of talking about Mixtape, and as you know, they've added that new map Monument, they've also adjusted the kill replay system, so it's now going to show hit markers and damage numbers, as well as the round-winning replay will show the killer's banner, so make sure to have on the badges and trackers you want to show off. In Control, players respawned via an MRB will now enter a skydive state instead of a freefall state when returning from the ship. For 3 strikes, revives will now be reduced to 2 seconds with 100 health coming back but 0 shields. And when you strike out and come back in, because of the new systems when you spawn in, you will be coming back with some of your loadout. Looking at those new world systems, they also gave us the Evo Harvesters, which they've adjusted the sound effect to play for both you and your teammate no matter who picks it up, and they've also removed some problematic spawn locations on Stormpoint, but players have actually been exploiting the system, the Evo rewards, via respawning and reviving, as well as the ring consoles were giving Evo in excess, so we see some fixes there. Wildlife and NPCs will now take proper damage from the ring and can be affected by heat shields as well. So that's a wrap on the systems, and looking now at the balances to packages, weapons, and the legends, this is where we really get into it. First, they slightly changed the care packages that drop in game, specifically the first one, which will now drop with seasonal gold weapons instead of red weapons, but the second and third crate remain unchanged. They also adjusted the weapon spawn rates, trying to normalize AR spawn rates per zone, so hopefully we see some improvements there. With a couple changes to weapons like the car's ADS vertical recoil being slightly increased and the Rampage's energized time slightly reduced to match its animation, I think the main focus was on a couple care package weapon adjustments that we'll see. The EVA 8, an absolute monster out of the gate, actually gets a tighter blast pattern and initial projectile size increase for better range play, as well as improved handling, but a reduced ammo reserve to 64 instead of 96. Another care pack weapon we see here, the Wingman, also gets ammo reserve decreased to 72, was 90, and it can no longer use the Digithread optic, but it can be replaced with any optic that you find on the ground. Moving on now to the legends, all of these basically relating to their leveling system and upgrades, but we do see some tweaks to tacticals and ultimates as well. I'm not going to go too much into depth on what some of these abilities are, assuming that you've been kind of playing or seen the previous patch notes and legend update video, but if we do get some new things, of course I will mention them. So starting with Ballistic, his upgrades have been adjusted, Ammu Vision completely removed, Lasting Bullet has been moved to level 2, and new for his level 3, Speedy Whistler, which on successful hits with his tactical will now give you a 2-second burst of speed. He did get a little bit of extra attention with some bugs too, so you can no longer generate ammo when swapping weapons from sling in the inventory, and his lock-on will be more reliable in close range, which for his tactical we're kind of relying on for those close quarter bursts of speed now with his new level 3 upgrade. Looking at Bangalore, her Rolling Thunder cooldown has been increased to 4.5 minutes, was 4 before, and her Smoke Launcher, its cooldown increased to 35 seconds, was 33, and it no longer deals damage on hit. The smoke duration itself has been decreased to 11 seconds, was 18, and the particles themselves will start to dissipate a bit faster, so big hits here, but we're not done. Her level 2 upgrade, Big Bang, has been removed and replaced with Tactical Cooldown. And her level 3, Cover Me, auto-ping will no longer track the player who's triggering her double time. But Refuge, the heal rate in her smoke, has been increased to 3.5, was 3. Overall, I still think a bit of a hit here. I know she's been really good of late and one of my favorite picks in the new system. We look at Bloodhound now, simply for his upgrades. Odin's Glare has been moved to level 2, and his tactical cooldown moved to level 3. Caustic, his gas damage now increases by 1 each tick, but down players still receiving the standard 5 per tick. The slow effect of the gas now only applies to the first damage tick for 2 seconds. His upgrades, however, see Particle Diffuser move to level 3 and Diffusal Toxins move to level 2. Looking at Conduit, her Radiant Transfer tactical cooldown has been increased to 31 seconds, was 26, and the regen interruption delay time has actually been increased to 2 seconds, was 1. Moving on to Fuse though, his upgrade Reckless changes the explosive damage reduction to 50%, was 25%. Lifeline, her level 2 tactical cooldown plus was removed, or rather amped to plus, making the cooldown the same time as the dock deployment, so you'll basically always have a dock bot. And for her level 3 upgrades, Gift Wrapped was completely removed, and a new upgrade, Gold Plated, which allows for her next package to spawn with gold gear, Evo Cash, Knockdown Shield, or Gold Backpack. It'll also contain a Shield Bat Medkit and a Phoenix or MRB. This moves us on to Octane, who also has Reckless and sees the same explosive damage reduction to 50%. Pathfinder, who has his upgrade Zipline Zen, also give the damage reduction to 50% instead of the 25%. Rev, his Forged in Shadows alt gets some adjustments, so when you're in the alt, Nox will now no longer refresh the tactical, and the tactical cooldown is no longer shorter. The alt itself has an increased cooldown by 60 seconds, and for his upgrades, Agile Assassin was removed. Ultimate cooldown was put in place for level 2, and for level 3 we see another tactical cooldown put in, so definitely noticing a trend here with the tacticals and the ultimates, seeing a bit of a swap. Moving on to Seer though, his focus of attention gets a decreased activation delay to 1.2 seconds, was 1.4, and for his upgrades they removed Racing Hearts and just integrated into the base tactical. Artist Reach was moved to level 2, along with Seer getting an ultimate cooldown in level 2, and for Long Reach it's been moved to level 3. Lastly, we have Wraith, whose upgrades were slightly adjusted. Her tactical cooldown moved to level 3 as well, and the ultimate cooldown moved down to level 2, so just matching the trend. There's some big hits, some improvements. Eager to see how it all plays out, and we'll just have to wait and see, so let me know if any of you guys are main these legends and if you took a hit. But wrapping up this video now with some quality of life improvements and bug fixes, I just want to say if you gained a fact or two, remember to leave me a like, it really helps me out. But just hope you enjoyed the video, and let's keep it going. The quality of life improvements include the ammo loaded into extended magazines will now be refunded to the player if the extended magazine is removed. Crypto new voice over line when drone is destroyed by the environment instead of another player. Default legend pick now shows as your selection to teammates unless you hover over another legend. New to the firing range options are dummy highlights being on or off, as well as lock legend upgrades. Jumpmaster selection updated to make it less likely that you are the Jumpmaster if you are under level 5 or were just the Jumpmaster last match. They've reduced the FPS stuttering, and reactive skins now appear at the top of the list and have a shimmering effect. As we end with the list of bug fixes, grab your butts, here we go. Dynamic resolution scaling no longer incorrectly decreases resolution on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series XS, which could cause a blurry image, especially in performance mode. The kill replay, as we kind of talked about earlier, was improved, but they've also fixed some issues with Phantom Healing UI displaying in-round winning kill replays, fixed some issues with flickering and mispredictions on some weapons when firing, and no longer crashes client with some weapons while firing. Mirage's Heirloom Too Much Wit correctly shows its name in kill feed and death recap now. No longer will the loot quality be less than in the Icarus ship if Solar Array is the hot drop. Ranked placement now appears consistently after player or squad is wiped. They've resolved performance hitches after playing a plethora of games back to back. Watson's pylons are now properly interrupted by large doors. And World's Edge, they've resolved an invisible collision issue at Monument preventing shooting. So that's everything beneath the surface, or the shadows, of the Shadow Society Collection event, bringing some additional Breakout patch notes and 2.0 changes to the legends, the map systems and weapons. But again, I hope you enjoyed and gained an Apex fact. If you want to join us live, links are in the description. But as always, I just appreciate you for being here. So stay safe, stay gaming, and I'll see you in the next one. Comms out.
Nice finish, boys.
Let's go.
There it is. You called it.
That's how we do it. Woo.
Let's lock in that dub, baby. Smart plays and